Hello friends, it's Betsy and welcome back to a special edition of ME, My Hook and I. We are vaccinated and we are in Myrtle Beach at the yarn shop Knit and Purl. Let's go see what we can find. So here we are. Look what we have. Premier Blossom wrapped up in Hayfield Baby. Very interesting. That's $7.50 a roll. And here we have Cotton Supreme Batik, otherwise known as Premier Cotton Batik. This one retails for $11.50. And I am back home, ready to show you what I got. Oddly enough, most of what I got, I just noticed, isn't in the footage that I just edited. So I think you're going to be a little surprised what I ended up buying. And let me tell you, I was super surprised because my husband has never had the privilege of going to a local yarn shop with me, because obviously I haven't been in a tiny store like that, or much of any store, for quite some time. And our local yarn stores here in Atlanta have kind of gone by the wayside, even like right before the pandemic. So I had been in one of those like a couple years ago. But yeah, so this is my first foray into a local yarn shop in like what felt like forever, and he took it upon himself to spoil me, A, because it was vacation, and B, just to support local business. I think he was also shocked to hear that a lot of these stores, sorry, my camera is like, anyway, that a lot of these local yarn shops had folded. So he was like, well, it's good to support small businesses like that. So she is in Myrtle Beach proper. I can't say enough things about the store. She was super nice, and I don't know if the lady that was there was just working on a project with the owner that was there, or if she's actually an employee. But those were the only two that were really in the store while I was there, with the exception of when I first got there and somebody was checking out. And instead of like going, oh, when I told them that I crocheted, they were like, here, look at this. And they had crochet alongs and stuff like that. So if you're in the Myrtle Beach area, like, it's a local yarn shop that appreciates both their crocheters and their knitters, despite the fact it's called Knit and Purl. So without further ado, I tried to get things that I didn't think I could order online or hadn't seen anywhere really online. The really great thing being that I live in Atlanta, Georgia, and don't really have a whole lot of need for wool, she had a lot of lighter weight yarns that you would use should you happen to live at the beach. So the first thing I got, I really wasn't going to get because it has a lot of bling. And I thought, well, oh, is that upside down? I can't, okay, yeah. Now it's upside down. I can't tell because it's backwards mirrored to me, but now it'll be right for you. So this is Concept Belvedere by Katia, made in Spain. I wasn't gonna get this because I thought, when am I ever gonna have a chance to wear something that blingy? But I was in love with the color variation on the inside. This whole ball is $36. So it's quite a pricey penny. It appears as though it's made in kind of a netting pattern. So there's the other versions of it, of which she had all of them. But this is the one that I got. I'm on a teal kick, guys. So this is 96% viscose, so that's another name for rayon, and 3% polyester and 1% polyamide, which is another name for nylon. So it's a very soft and it's very synthetic feeling, but it's like it looks and feels like it would drape like a dream, and I just can't get over that color gradient. So I splurged and got one ball. So there's 541 balls on this. I have 541 balls. 541 yards. So this pattern is not anywhere, like, it's not on the label or anything. I have a feeling that they made it out of one ball though, because of the way the gradient is falling. So I just got one. And also, like, I mean, $36 is enough. You ought to be able to get something out of that. Okay, the next thing I got is super beachy feeling to me. Dad. 1 second, that's my daughter. She just got put to bed. And I think her dad's outside with the dogs. It's life. Okay, she's fine. Her covers fell off. Welcome to momhood. All right. Anywho, so the next thing I got is this Pendenza. And this is 100% Egyptian mercerized and gassed cotton. And let me see if I can give you a peek inside there. See, I told you I'm on a teal kick. Look at that. Oh, it's so pretty. So, so in case you're wondering, mercerized is a process that cotton can go through to make it more durable and kind of change the texture of it. And then gassed is a process, and it doesn't say what kind of gas. I learned this from my father, who is a textile major, who likes to tell me that all the craft industry terms for things are wrong in the real textile world. But whatever. Gassed is a process with some sort of chemical that will change the outside appearance of the fiber, which is why this kind of has a little bit of sheen to it. I don't know if the camera's really picking up on that. Maybe if I take it closer to the light. It kind of has a little bit of a sheen to it, as if it had some sort of rayon in it. But apparently that's what the gassing process does. So I got 2 balls of this. It's a Plymouth yarn. 240 yards on each. And I have a feeling this is, they had a cowl made up out of it that was super drapey and lacy. So I feel like something lacy is also what's going to become of this. Oh, that kind of showed the sheen. You see how the light's kind of reflecting on it? Anyway, super pretty. I mean, I'm dying for those colors on the inside. But wait, there's more. So much for going on a yarn fast. The next thing I got, this is actually a knit kit, but she didn't have the yarns in stock any other way, and so I got it in the kit. And honestly, like, I don't buy this kind of yarn for myself, so like I would have never gone in there and felt like I could spend $36 on one skein, much less the 3 things that I already have. And then he was like, yeah, I get that. I'm like, I need to take you shopping with me more often because you give me more permission than I give myself. Anyway, God bless my husband. So it has this beautiful knit pattern with it, and that can be easily recreated right there with some crochet shell stitches. And what it does, and they had it made, I would have never, let me pull it out of the bag. I would have never put these 3 together for a couple of reasons. One, this looks like it's a Z-spun yarn. You see? If it'll focus that close. And this looks like just your regular tightly spun S yarn. So these are 2 totally different twists. These are from the same yarn line, and this is something different to put in the middle together. And I don't know that I would have picked things that were 2 totally different textures, but when they put it up together on the sample, it was beautiful. So yeah, and I love, look at that. I love me a good speckle. Let's be honest. Who doesn't love a good speckle? So I'm going to create some sort of crochet version of that shawl. And she said, at least in the knit version, that this was more yarn than what the pattern called for, which makes me feel a little more confident that I can, you know, pull out something this size with crochet, depending on what I do, because we all know that crochet sucks up more yarn than knit does. Or who knows, like, no, I don't care to learn to knit that bad. I really don't. I have to be honest. I really don't care to learn to knit that bad. And then last but not least, they had another, this is another knit project. So they were friendly to crocheters, but most of their kits, I would say 99% of their kits are for knitters. So, but I loved this art yarn. Again, not something I would have bought on my own. And I love that they paired it with this. So, again, the pattern that they put in here was something quite lacy. But I can figure that out for crochet. There's lots of stuff like that online. So, anywho, that was my yarn picks. Are you surprised after looking at my footage? Because once I got done filming things that I wanted to include on the channel, I was like, okay, I gotta stop and I gotta think this through, and I need, like, I can get Malabrigo pretty much anywhere. As much as I loved seeing all the Malabrigo she had in her store, and who doesn't love Malabrigo, I was like, you know what? I can get Malabrigo anytime. I don't know that you'd ever see this online and think it's as beautiful as it actually is, because it's just hard to photograph this kind of thing. You can't pull open the skein like I do to show you all the colors that are hidden in there. So definitely wouldn't have gone for something like this if it were just on webs or something, which I don't know if it is. I actually haven't looked up any of this yarn to see if it's available online. But maybe I'll be nice and look them up on the interwebs and see if I can find it for you. But yeah, I mean, again, this is not something that I would see in a picture on the internet and think, oh, I gotta have that. But the touch and feel of this is amazing. So, and I definitely have seen Plymouth yarn elsewhere, which is also, I think, what this is. I have seen these hand-dyed skeins of Plymouth yarn, and I've seen this Huasco color, I think maybe on Webs, maybe even Lovecrafts, I'm not sure. But again, it was the pairing of them together that A, I never would have done online, and B, I never would have thought in the first place, because they're different textures. They're all superwash merino, they're just different spins. So yeah, fun times. Thanks for going on the journey with me. My first trip back to the yarn shop. I'm gonna go because there's lots of ambient noise in my house right now.